All right, so welcome to the Johns Hopkins Anesthesiology and Critical Care Medicine Hollywood Squares night. Tonight, we are going to be introducing our residency APDs. We'll hear a little bit about who we are, where we're from, what we do at Hopkins, and maybe a little bit of fun facts. We'll start with Dr. Isaac.
All right, so fun facts about me. No one calls me Dr. Isaac. Everyone calls me Gillian. It's what I absolutely prefer. And I get it. I came from New York. No one call people by their first name, but I really believe in it. I feel like we're all in it together. We're just different PGY year. I might be PGY 15 and you're PGY 1, but we're all at a different level of training, but we're all colleagues. I came to Hopkins because my husband actually got a job down here in Maryland at private practice. And I started my residency at Columbia, and I had a daughter in residency, and I didn't want to live separate life. So I transferred down to Hopkins, which I also think makes me a little bit unique because I understand what it is like to transfer residency training programs. And then we waited to have children till I was done with residency. So that also gives me some perspective about what it's like to have kids during residency and then after. Right, I did a fellowship in obstetric anesthesiology, and that's as did Dave and Anna. We're a very OB heavy group right now. That's where I spend a lot of my time, but it's very important for me to spend time doing other type of adult anesthesia. So you'll see me in GI, you'll see me in outpatient, you'll see me in the adult ORs, you'll see me in eye cases. I tend to go everywhere. I'm very interested in resident education and training because for me, I thought it was a very difficult process. I didn't feel like I had a lot of people who cared about me or wanted me to succeed. I just felt like I was a cog in a wheel. So I always remember, even though I'm 16 years out of residency, how hard it was. And I want to help people transition from residency into being a physician, whether you're going into private practice or you're doing academics. That's very important to me. And I'm interested in test preparation because I did really poorly in the very beginning of my anesthesia residency. And so I have a lot of empathy for how difficult the testing can be. And obviously I do OB anesthesia. So I'm interested in education, helping people succeed in their examinations, and just really helping in the transition between residency and being an attending, and help you being a successful attending, whether that's in the private practice world or in the academic world. And that's kind of where I feel like my niche is. I came to Hopkins, obviously, like I said, because my husband got a job, but I have stayed because I love the people. I feel like we are a family, we are community, we are friends. Like everyone I know, I really love in their own way, and I cannot describe the bonds that really bring us together. And that's really why I have stayed. And I think that's so important, not just in training, but in being a successful academic anesthesiologist. Sorry, I have a child to my right. I'm a parent of 3. And I also think the balance. I think Hopkins really does a great job with work-life balance. I think like a lot of academic places don't. And it's really great to be at a place that really recognizes the value of well-being, your time outside the hospital, and being a mother or a father, that type of thing. So that's me. And I know I've probably gone more than I should have, but thank you for applying and being interested in us. And we're all interested in hearing more about you, and we'll all welcome any questions.
Thank you very much. All right, next thing up, Dr. Edwards, who is not on a beach, though she looks like she is on a beach.
Definitely want to be on a beach, but that's okay. We're still bringing the beach vibes and the beach aesthetic. So, with that being said, I am Lori Edwards. I am the newest APD, and I hail from the beautiful island of Jamaica. This is not Jamaica though, but close enough. I did my medical school training in Jamaica, so at the University of the West Indies. And I actually, I guess my story is unique in that I worked as a physician for about 3 years, 2 years where I did primary care as well as a year, 6 months of anesthesia. And then I also did a year of anesthesia residency in Jamaica as well. When I came to the United States of America, I did another fun fact. I did a year of surgery internship. Yeah, super fun. And that was in New York at Harlem Hospital Center. And then I did my anesthesia residency training in Philadelphia at Temple University Hospital. Go Owls. And then I did my pediatric anesthesiology fellowship at CHOP. So most of my training has been in Philadelphia. So what brought me to Hopkins? I would say the environment. I was looking for an environment where, education was a top priority as well as research. So that brought me to Hopkins. I must say, one of the things that attracted me to becoming an APD is getting the opportunity to interact with residents. And I must say that having been elsewhere, the residents at Hopkins are certainly well trained. And I definitely wanted to jump on the bandwagon and be a part of making them well trained as well. So that's what brought me here, and hopefully that's what will keep me here as well. But I'm excited to meet all of you. And I think one of the things that is also exciting about being a part of this process is I was also like recently a resident, so I remember what it's like. And I think bringing that to the table is something that is pretty valuable.
Awesome. Well, on behalf of everybody, we are so glad that you joined our team as an APD. All right, Dr. Gitterman, you are up.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. I'm Anna Gitterman. I am the second newest APD. I am also a member of the OB anesthesia division, so we're certainly strong in this group. But we're so excited to welcome you to Hopkins. It's such an amazing community, and anesthesiology as a specialty is just the coolest. You made an awesome choice. I am a Marylander. I grew up in Rockville, Maryland, which is just a little bit south of Baltimore, and then I came to Maryland for med school. Came over to Hopkins for residency because just the culture, the people, they blew me away. It was just without a doubt the right place for me. And then I stayed for my OB anesthesia fellowship and then on as faculty after that, primarily because the people just were still so incredible and such an amazing community of people to continue to learn from, even as a junior attending, because as I am learning that, you learn a ton in residency, don't get me wrong, but you certainly don't learn everything. And so there's not a day that goes by that I don't ask for help. And it's a place where there's certainly lots of help. Feel like to say with Hogwarts is like a cliche, but help is always around when it needs to be. Let's see. Fun facts about me. I have two kids. I have a 2-year-old and a 4-month-old who one is watching Zootopia and one is being bounced. So multitasking, sleeping now and again, but life is busy, but that doesn't mean, that's good too. My role in the residency, I do some scheduling, trying to target specific cases for residents in one of our operating room theaters. I work with some of the women in our residency on, ways to incorporate family life and women in professional medicine, and always looking for new learning avenues myself. So that's me in a nutshell.
Awesome. Well, we are so glad that you joined us as APD as well. I am Dave Berman. I am the, third newest APD, which means that Dr. Isaac is old. I came to Hopkins initially for my OB anesthesia fellowship. I did my med school and residency in New York City. I actually canceled my Hopkins interview for residency because I said there was no way that I would ever end up in Baltimore. And man plans and God laughs. I ended up at Hopkins for my OB anesthesia fellowship and stayed on afterwards and became an APD a year or so later. I do a lot of OB anesthesia, a lot of anesthesia for fetal surgery, hepatobiliary cases, and pretty much wherever else I get thrown. I also have an interest in malignant hyperthermia, and I serve as a phone hotline consultant for the MH hotline. In terms of what I do for the residency, I'm helping to design our new intern year. So we're going to be starting a categorical program fairly soon. We still have linked spots where there's 14 or so linked spots for internship spots elsewhere in Baltimore City. But we're starting a categorical intern year. So that's been the bulk of my work lately. And I also do a lot of career advising and contract review for our graduating residents. I think the thing that kept me at Hopkins was really the people. I think the last couple of years with COVID were really tough, but I could not have chosen a better group of people to do the hard work with. It's been really great to see how our crew, both in the residency and the faculty as a whole, have really banded together to do some really cool stuff and take great care of patients and learn together and take care of each other. So I am so glad to be with all of you guys. Well, thank you so much for listening. And that's one of Dr. Isaac's dogs. And we really appreciate you taking the time to learn about our residency. Thank you so much. Have a great night, everybody.